If you're wondering how a random guy from America made it onto the main stage at a major festival in Finland, well, stay tuned because this is my journey at the Tuska Fest in Helsinki, Finland. For my very first metal fest, I had to make sure that I had the essentials: camera bag, suitcase, and battle vest. As luck would have it, the metal gods were smiling upon me because I got upgraded to business class for this trip, so it led me to the Polaris Lounge, and it was amazing. The Polaris Lounge is a great place to chill, grab some free food, all that good stuff before the big flight, and I could not have been any more excited because it's just such a cool place to be in. The flight couldn't have gone any better. Before I knew it, we were touching down in beautiful Helsinki, Finland. As soon as we landed, we rushed over to the Tuska store to pick up our wristbands and check out the wide selection of merch, and you know I definitely bought some. Okay folks, so we just landed in Helsinki. When you're traveling a long distance, you just gotta stay up and run with it. So I am dead tired, but we decided to go get our wristbands for the festival that starts tomorrow. And the fine folks at Tuska gave me a media pass, so we get access to certain areas that everybody else probably doesn't get, or at least I don't know what it gets me at this point, but we're gonna find out together. So you're not gonna wanna miss it. Join me for Tuska. The next stop was to the Bodom bar to pay homage to Alexi Laho and Children of Bodom. So I am inside the Children of Bodom bar in Finland, and this place is super cool. It's like a complete museum dedicated to Children of Bodom, as well as a bar and a sauna. And so it's just super cool. I'm gonna go show you some of the neat, just the awesome things they have here. Actual cases from Children of Bodom. And you can see sneakers, all that kind of good stuff. I'm not sure if it's going to show up with the glare, but you get to actually see cases, which is super neat. And this has like just clothes, and it looks like some undergarments that were passed on to the band. So super cool on that. But this is one of my favorite sections over here. It's basically, and you can see it, it's all kinds of set lists that went on for the band, and so just a whole thing of set lists, which is just super cool. And if you guys are like a collector like me, it's one of those things where you can see how cool this wall is. Looks like there's a whiteboard with all cool stuff. This is actually, let's go check this out. This is the rehearsal room whiteboard. So that is awesome. Over here is where the saunas are. This is wild. I literally am in the Children of Bodom bar, and they have saunas as well as a bar. And they said I could check out the women's sauna just because, actually, quite frankly, nobody else is in here. So I figured I'd give a little bit of a tour. Actually, you walk in here, locker rooms, and here is, I guess, the shower and the actual sauna that you walk into. And it's hard to see, I guess, with the camera, but when in Finland, you are supposed to do a sauna. Let me get out of the women's sauna because you guys might think I'm creepy at this point. More awesome pictures. Okay, folks, you guys know I love a good guitar. So the fact that they have a guitar in case, that is just super awesome. To be honest with you, I don't think I've actually seen a guitar in a case before. So that's just dope in its own right. Here's a look at more of the Children of Bodom bar memorabilia, and I have to say it's really one of the coolest places. It's kind of just a neat kind of bar slash museum. More importantly, there were super cool people there too. I got to meet a few of them, and I even bought a duck. Okay, so gotta whisper just a little bit because I feel like it's very, very quiet and everywhere we've gone so far in Finland, which is cool. It's all that kind of good stuff, but it's kind of weird when you're making videos. Anyway, so we're at Hesburger, which is basically the Finnish version of McDonald's from what I understand. And I'm a huge fan of McDonald's, so I'm very curious to see how Hesburger stacks up to McDonald's. And so we're gonna start off with the fries. The fries do not look like normal McDonald's fries, but they look pretty good anyway. They're nice and hot, and so we'll see how that tastes. They're good. They're good standard fries. I think I'd probably still go McDonald's either way, but they're definitely good. Can't hate on them. So now we're gonna check the basic Hesburger double cheeseburger. Kind of looks like a McDonald's double cheeseburger, but it's got mayonnaise in it, so that's the only difference. But we're gonna go ahead and try it and see how, once again, it stacks up to McDonald's. I will say the patties look a lot smaller, but who knows? We'll see how it goes. It's actually pretty solid. I'm not used to the mayonnaise, but it's good stuff. If you like mayonnaise, definitely good stuff. So if you're in Finland, try out Hesburger and see if you can do your own taste test compared to McDonald's. I'm still dead tired, but I'm on a marathon trying to stay up as much as I can so it doesn't really mess up my system for the rest of the festival, basically. And so I want to keep trying different things in Finland. And everybody keeps saying to try this stuff out. And it's salmiakki, and apparently it's a salted black licorice type of thing. I will say I love black licorice personally. I've never had salted black licorice. Some people tell me that I should stay away from it, but when in Finland, you kind of have to try it. So this is what it looks like. It's a diamond shape. I guess there's different shapes in this one, but anyway, this one's diamond. Okay, folks, here it goes. Wish me luck. Okay. Definitely salty. Definitely salty. It's not bad though. Honestly, I expected it to be pretty bad. I actually really like it. I've seen a lot of people do this and they don't like it at all. It's way better than I actually expected. The salt definitely brings out a different taste, but I think it's great. So maybe I'm an honorary Finn now. I've only been here for, but I think at this point I've been here for maybe 7 hours. This stuff is good. I'm gonna keep eating it. So way to go, Finland. Salmiakki. Take it up. Okay, folks, so today is day one of the Tuska Fest. Can't wait! But before we get to the Tuska Fest, I literally just wanted to give you this public service announcement. If you are ever traveling to Finland in the summertime, make sure that you get a hotel room that has blackout shades, because literally, if you can see behind me, this is kind of what it looks like all night long. Actually, I should say it does get a little bit darker, but not much darker. So make sure that you have blackout shades. I swear it was the weirdest thing in the whole wide world. Last night we were out and it felt as if it was like 3 in the afternoon, and looking at my watch, it was actually like 10 o'clock. So definitely, it's just a weird feeling that at least I've never experienced. Maybe you guys have, but I haven't. But once again, if you're ever in Finland and it's summertime, make sure you get a hotel room with blackout shades so you can sleep at night. Anyway, just a fun tip. And now it is off to the Tuska Fest, day one. The festival was actually pretty easy to get to. It was 2 train stops from our hotel, and then it actually stopped. It kind of stopped near a mall, which that got very confusing. There were signs everywhere, and I was trying to follow people, and it seemed a little bit like that Spinal Tap clip where they can't find the stage. They just keep going everywhere.
It's gonna be a hot one, isn't it? It's gonna be a great show. No, it's not an exit. Not an exit.
You don't want an exit.
Well, that's true.
Oh, this way. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well,
this way. Let's go.
But actually, once we did it once, we pretty much mastered it and made it to the festival with very little difficulty after that. Okay, folks, so I made it to Tuska. I am finally here after months and months of planning and all that kind of good stuff. I finally made it. There's people still waiting. It's still a little too early to go into the festival at this point. But you know what? It's a good time. There seems to be a lot of people already excited to go. And so I just can't wait. It's almost time for the Tuska Fest. So while I'm hanging out in the line, I happened to notice my friend Mika over here. Look at this outfit. How awesome is this? That is, you can't get any more metal than this, folks. So, So Nico, why Lidl?
Because I work in Lidl and also have this sort of word game saying a little cool, which means a little crazy.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
How many Tuska Fests have you been to?
This is my third time. I've been living in Finland for 11 years and I really like Tuska. It's one of the best festivals in Finland.
Definitely the best. Who are you here to see most?
Cradle of Filth, then also Dario, of course, and then Tullin Catalog and Apocalyptica.
You're coming all weekend?
Yeah, 3 days VIP. Yeah.
Oh, that is fantastic. Okay, well, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I will definitely see you when we get in there.
Thank you.
As soon as the gates open, I could not wait to go check out all the stages, all the tents, all that good stuff. I was literally like a kid on Christmas morning. I did have to keep my composure because I had some awesome interviews to get ready for. Why, yes, you heard that correctly. I actually had interviews lined up for this festival. Once I realized or found out that I could have media accreditation from the festival, I was able to book some interviews for bands that were going to be playing at the festival, and that just made this whole experience that much better. Please note that all of the interviews that I did at this festival will be on my channel soon. The first interview was with the legendary Danny Filth from Cradle of Filth, and it was fantastic. I feel like I could have talked to him forever. He was just super genuine and just an awesome guy, great person to talk to, and just a great overall experience. After the interview, we took this picture, and what's so cool about it is after we took the picture, Danny wanted one on his phone, so we took a picture on his phone. And how cool is it knowing that I'm literally somewhere on Danny Filth's phone? You know, that to me is just the craziest thought, but anyway, it's awesome nonetheless. After Danny, I got to sit down with the living legend Marco Hayatala, and it was just super cool. I feel like I was geeking out the whole time, but he could not have been any more laid back and chill. Just a great guy to hang out with and talk to. He is another one that I could have absolutely sat there and talked to for hours. And quite frankly, he actually seemed like he could as well. You know, it was just a really cool, I feel like we bonded. I think we did. So I'm going to just take it as we bonded because, it was just an overall chill experience. So happy that it worked out the way it did. Now that my day one interviews were complete, it was time to go check out some music, starting with Knocked Loose on the main stage, and man, they just completely crushed it. Knocked Loose was followed up by Dragon Force, and they were actually a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed their set. Next up was Cradle of Filth, and they were amazing. By the way, did I tell you that I'm on Danny Filth's phone? Next up was my new bestie, Marco Hayatala, and man, he put on such a great performance. It was just awesome. Next up was Marco's partner in crime, Tarja, and I have to say my favorite part was when Marco came out and did Phantom of the Opera, and they did some other Nightwish songs. It was just such an amazing moment. Electric Callboy was up next, and I feel like they were the fan favorite of the whole weekend. They just had so much energy, and the crowd was all into it. It was just such a great vibe. And finally, the headliners of the night, the one and only In Flames, one of my personal favorite bands, and they just always kill it, and they definitely killed it on this night. Okay, and it's day 2 of Tuska Fest, and today is going to be fantastic. We've got all kinds of just amazing bands. It's just going to be awesome. And I'm saying bands like Insomnium, The Halo Effect, Slaughter to Prevail, Powerwolf. It's just an action-packed day. It's going to be fantastic. I've got all kinds of cool things to do today. I'm just uber excited for day 2. And the coolest thing is I was really kind of concerned on how I would feel after day 1 because day 1 was amazing. You know, you couldn't have scripted day 1 any better. Literally, you know, seeing the festival for the very first time and just the whole, you know, the different stages and just the people, and then getting to meet, you know, Danny Filth from Cradle of Filth and Marco Hayatala. It couldn't have gotten better. the bands were fantastic. You Electric Cowboy, In Flames closing out the place. But honestly, even one of the surprises for me was seeing Marco and Tarja together. It was just super cool. So I left day one thinking, how can this get any better? And then I also had to remember that literally it was just day one. So day two is going to be action-packed, hopefully more of the same. And it's just full of bands that I love, and I just really can't wait to get to it. So next time you see me, we're going to be at Tuska day 2. We just arrived at the venue, and it's starting to rain a little bit. And it rained yesterday, so it's nothing that we're not used to at this point, but it's actually supposed to clear up, from what I understand, in about an hour or so. So hopefully we'll have smooth sailing for the rest of the day, no real rain. I do have ponchos just in case, but I really don't want to bust them out. So anyway, fingers crossed, folks, no more rain. Day 2 started out with an interview with an up-and-coming band called Royal Sorrow. They were a great group of guys, and we had a great conversation, so absolutely go check them out if you can. As a part of the media, we were offered a tour of the festival grounds by festival director Ika and designer Jenny. And they did a QA, took us around, and it was just a really cool experience. My favorite part of the tour was getting to walk on the main stage as a band was playing, just to see the crowd and just, quite frankly, hear the crowd as well. It was just something that I will never forget in my whole entire life, because I've always wondered what it's like on the other side, and now I know. Now is a good time to give credit where credit's due, and this is Mr. Samba, who is the stage manager and pretty much just kept everything running like clockwork. This man is awesome, and a big fan of hockey. That makes him okay in my book. After the tour, I had an opportunity to sit down with Nilo from Insomnium, and I will say this was one of probably the craziest interviews, in the fact that we had such a small window of opportunity to work with, and quite frankly, I was geeking out the whole time because I love Insomnium. So anyway, it was a really short interview, but Nilo was super awesome and just a really, really cool person to talk to. After the interview, I had some time to check out some performances, and the first one up was Charlotte Vessels, who did not disappoint. Charlotte was followed by the one and only Windrose, and yes, we got to Diggy Diggy Hole. Next on the list was actually one of my favorite performances of the whole weekend with Cemetery Skyline. They were just so awesome. I just loved every bit of it, just a lot of fun. I highly recommend checking out Cemetery Skyline if they come to your area. As luck would have it, after Cemetery Skyline, I got to meet up with Peter from the Halo Effect. It was actually kind of cool. While I just saw Michael Stane, I then got to hang out with his bandmate in the Halo Effect, Peter, and Peter was just one of the coolest guys. It was actually just one of those conversations you just don't want to end. And if they hadn't stopped me, I could have literally talked to him for hours, and we just had a great conversation. So I think that might have been one of my favorite interviews of the whole weekend. So Peter's just a solid dude, and quite frankly, I love his music. Between Old In Flames and the Halo Effect, my man's just rock solid. So just a great dude, and I see myself hanging out with him. I totally could hang out with him outside of work, for lack of better terms. He just seems like such a chill, cool dude. After the interview, I got to check out the tail end of the Orbit Culture set and then go right into Insomnium. And man, it did not disappoint whatsoever. I loved every bit of it. And it was so cool that for the very first time I got to see Insomnium, I literally got to hang out with the lead singer of the band prior, and that was just super cool. I can't stress enough how just awesome this whole thing is. Speaking of awesome, I need to give a little spotlight to the Tuska audience. The crowd was fantastic all 3 days, and what I really, really appreciated was the fact that they came with their A game as far as costumes and outfits and all that kind of good stuff. I also wanted to give a shout out to the folks that recognized me from the channel, and that was just a weird, cool experience all in its own. Anyway, these are the folks who were not afraid to take a selfie with me, knowing that it was going to be on a vlog. While I'm giving shout outs, I absolutely have to give a shout out to whoever came up with this genius idea, because I swear, bathroom lines are always rough. I can say in America, it just seems like everywhere you go, there's like porta pots, but there's, it just seems like there's always lines and all that kind of good stuff. So whoever created this invention should absolutely be knighted or given some kind of a Nobel Peace Prize award, because this, I feel like it made for like very little, if any, lines in the bathrooms, and it just makes the whole experience that much better. So kudos to whoever invented these things. Speaking of lines, I then decided to go to the merch tent, and man, did they have way too many options. I'm only saying that because I spent way too much money at the merch tent, but either way, hey, it is what it is, folks. Fortunately for me, I did not have time to think about my overspending habits, because it was time for Slaughter to Prevail. And I had seen them before, but they just never disappoint. Like, Alex Terrible is literally one of the best frontmen at the moment. It's just, every performance, he just gives it his all, and the crowd felt it. It was just a great, great time. After Slaughter to Prevail, it was time to see my new friend Peter's band, The Halo Effect. And The Halo Effect was a band that I've been trying to see. Like, for some reason, they've been to America, but they've only played a few shows. So I'm really hoping that they do an American tour at some point. But it was my first time seeing them, and they were fantastic. The headliners for the night was Powerwolf, and I was so excited for this one because I had seen Powerwolf when they came to America, and unfortunately it was in a smaller club, so they can't really do the full pyro and all the things that they would normally do with their normal stage setup. And so I got to see them in their full glory, and man, it was everything I could have asked for and then some. It was just so great, just pyro and just an overall great time, lots of fun. The crowd was into it, and they definitely proved why they're headliners.
Okay, today is Tuska Day 3, and it's the final day of Tuska. I'm actually very sad. When you go on vacation and the last couple of days you start to get sad because it's winding down. I'm definitely feeling that today, just because I know today's the final day. It's still going to be an amazing day. There's a ton of great artists to see. I've got another interview lined up for today, and it's going to be super cool. But anyway, I'm starting to get that little bit of a is it really over? And so it's just a sign of just having such a great time. So Tuska Day 3, it's going to be awesome. Let's just get to it.
Day 3 started out with an interview with Ica and Pertu from Apocalyptica. And those dudes, to their credit, I know they were dead tired because they've been doing the festival circuit for quite some time. And I know they didn't have much sleep, and it was an earlier interview. And they just came in with just the best attitudes, lots of laughs, just an overall fun time. Kudos to them for, sticking it out, and just overall awesome guys. We really had a great time. Apocalyptica was my final interview of the weekend, and I would be remiss if I did not mention the people behind the scenes that just, quite frankly, I believe had the toughest jobs. They helped organize these interviews and, made sure that we were in the right place at the right time. And that wasn't just the media, but it was the artists as well. And so they absolutely deserve uber credit. So here's to you, Silka, Heta, and Katja. Thank you very much for all you did for me. It made this whole experience amazing. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So when in Finland, you've got to try Finnish foods, and I've already tried a couple other things, but while we're at the festival, we've got some pastries to try. The one thing that everybody has told me when I come to Finland, I have to try their cinnamon rolls. And so, how do you say no to cinnamon rolls, folks? I love cinnamon rolls. This definitely does not look like the Cinnabon that I'm used to in America, or the other kind of cinnamon rolls I'm used to in America, but I figure, hey, let's try it. Maybe there's something to it. So it's got like granular, hopefully that's not salt like the licorice, and hopefully it's sugar. We'll see. Oh, that's good. Wow. fantastic. It's just so soft and cinnamony. Really great. And the granular sugar adds something to it. I don't know what it is, but it's fantastic, folks. Definitely get the cinnamon rolls. So now there's something else. It's called a butter, like it's in Finnish, and I can't speak Finnish, so I don't remember what it was called. But it's some kind of a butter sugar thing. I guess it's like I'm gonna assume it's like a donut. I'm not sure what's in the middle of it, so maybe it's just straight butter. But I do see sugar flakes, so let's see. Oh, that's really good. It really tastes like a donut, and you can definitely get the buttery just essence to it. So it's basically butter, sugar, and dough, which is a perfect combination, folks. And then last is banana chocolate bread, which I don't think this is specific to Finland, but how do you say no to banana chocolate bread? Come on. So anyway, that's this. Let's try this. That is fantastic. It's perfect. Just imagine banana chocolate bread, and that's what it is. Absolutely fantastic. And so yeah, that is me trying Finnish pastries. Probably my best taste test of this whole trip. So when in Finland, try their Finnish pastries. They're fantastic. Day 3 was Bring Your Kids to the Metal Fest day, where they had a train and everything, which is super cool. You know, it kind of lets the kids get used to, you know, the world of metal, and hopefully they'll be coming to more festivals. I can say this kid wanted to go to the stage to see Corporal Connie, and that's exactly what I did. While I didn't understand any of the words, Corporal Connie was awesome. They were just a lot of fun, and yeah, they made a fan out of me, folks. After Corporal Connie, I had some time to kill, so I went to the Tuska store / Tuska Expo, and man, that place was wild. They had vendors that had the craziest things, like witchcraft stuff, I think satanic stuff, just kind of everything on the darker side, and I loved it all. It was super cool, and if I hadn't spent too much at the merch section, I probably would have bought some more stuff there. After seeing all of the crazy goods, it was time for Apocalyptica, and Apocalyptica did not disappoint whatsoever. I had the opportunity to see them in February, and it just took me back to that time because once again, they played the Metallica songs. The whole crowd was into it, and it was just an overall awesome vibe. After Apocalyptica, it was time to get a little snack at one of the vendors, and I have to say, while the food was good, the people were even better. Feeling refreshed, it was time to walk over to the Radio City stage to see Whitechapel. The only thing I can say about Whitechapel is it is just straight up raw energy. I've seen them a couple times now, and each time it's pretty much the same. It's just no pyro, no craziness, nothing like that. It's just straight up raw energy. After the brutality of Whitechapel, we decided to walk over to the Nordic Energy stage to see Battle Beast. That reminds me, I loved how close the stages were, but yet they didn't bleed into each other. So it was awesome because they were just really short walks to the next stage. If you've been a fan of my channel, you know that I'm actually a recent convert to Battle Beast. And so I decided to check them out, and they were such a great surprise. They were so good live. I will say the lead singer, I believe her name is Nora. She has just an amazing voice and just an incredible stage presence. They were definitely a lot of fun, and I can't wait to check them out again. After Battle Beast, I headed over to the main stage to see Motionless in White, but first I had to get a cool photo opportunity. Motionless in White is one of those bands that I hear about all the time, and I never quite really got into them. I can say that they had a huge crowd, and the crowd was going nuts when they came out, and so, you know, and quite frankly, the performance is pretty good. I can't really complain. After Motionless in White, I went over to the media room and hung out with my new friend Arto from Chaos Scene. I highly recommend his YouTube channel if you get a chance to see it. He gets interviews with the biggest and the best, and quite frankly, I watch it all the time, so go check out Chaos Scene. But anyway, super guy, and I had a lot of fun hanging out with him this weekend. And now it's time for the final performance of the festival, the one and only Lorna Shore. You guys know that I love Lorna Shore, and this performance was actually their final performance on their European run, and they just were hitting on all cylinders. It was just such a great time. The crowd was into it, and it was just everything you could want for a final performance. And just like that, it was over. And while I've got a smile on my face on this picture, it was actually a very sad time for me because I knew it was over and I did not want it to end. It was definitely a perfect festival for me. You know it's my very first festival, but it was literally a perfect festival. And I just have nothing but gratitude towards all of the people that made it possible. Day 3 is officially in the books. The Tuska Fest adventure is coming to a close. It's about 11:30 at night in beautiful Helsinki. Today was just an amazing day. It started out with getting to hang out and talk to the guys in Apocalyptica, and just so much great music after that. Corporal Connie, Battle Beast, Whitechapel, Motionless in White, and to top it off, we got to see an amazing set from Lorna Shore. And so just overall, just fantastic day. Since we're winding up, I really just wanted to say thank you so much to not only the viewers of this channel who quite frankly gave me the confidence to take these leaps and actually plan a trip like this, and have the confidence to reach out to the Tuska organization to get media passes and try to interview some of these bands. And like I said, if it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't be here today. But really, I can't thank the Tuska organization enough. You guys were amazing. They just ran such a great event, and they made everything amazing for me. And so I cannot thank them enough. There's so many people that I got to meet and hang out with and just enjoy their company. This event was just sheerly amazing, and I can't thank them enough for that. And also want to thank the people who I ran into at the event that have been viewers of this channel that stopped to say hi. It was really, really cool to actually see some of you who've seen the channel, which, a lot of people, like I said, I'm just a normal, regular person, but to actually get stopped by somebody who's actually seen the channel was just super special and definitely warms the heart. And so once again, you guys are the reasons why I'm even here today. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And now I get to go back to the States where I got a lot of stuff to edit. But anyway, with that being said, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.